Hello, hello. It's Renee, independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up. And as usual, it's a Tuesday, and I'm going to have a live on Facebook in a few moments. And I will be discussing today how to make these two cards. And actually, I'll be making these two kind of cards in front of you today. And one of my favorite things is to use pre-cut cards and then show you how you can alter them and how much fun they can be. If you're a demonstrator, this is great for a class. If you're a hobbyist and love to craft, this is just so much fun and a very straightforward, pretty straightforward, I think, process. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and go live in just a moment. Hey, 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 I believe that I am live, and we will, as usual, check. Facebook has changed some live, and we will, as usual, check. Facebook changed some live, and we will, as usual, check. No, I'm going to quit this. Change some live, and we will, as usual, check. No, I'm going to quit this. Some live, and we will, as usual, check. No, Facebook say some live, and we will, as usual, check. No, Facebook say some live. So let's see if that worked. And as I was saying, yeah, I think it is working. Hello, hello, everybody. Good afternoon. What happened is, of course, Facebook has changed a few things. And so you got some of that reiteration of my statements because of the changes. And so I had to close out the live off of my computer. So I think we're good. I think everything is working out. So I know I'm on. I have one viewer. Hello, hello. Thank you for viewing. And I'm going to have some fun today. I'm going to be showing you two cards, okay? And I'm going to be showing you how to make these alternate cards, these fun fold cards, using cards that are pre-cut. Again, one of my favorite things to do. And you have seen something earlier in the spring with Cards and More. Well, this time we are looking at these pool party and seafoam cards and envelopes, and you get them free for a $50 purchase. And you see here, this actually comes from the Splendid Day Suite on page 64 from the new mini. And it really coincides with that suite, these envelopes. And I really, really like them. And I will be showing you as soon as I can get to page 64, which is here. Here's that beautiful suite. Okay, it's gorgeous. You've seen me use this. This paper is gorgeous. I'm going to use these today. All right, the ribbon is gorgeous. This is just, it's only a $82 collection with the dies, okay? But this collection is just fabulous. And anyway, these cards that come for free with a $50 purchase, all right, coincide with that. These, if you can see here, you can see the little white here, and you can see the little leaves here. And then on the inside, that's what it looks like. The envelopes are both the same. This is the, this is what we have for our print here on these cards. Get 10 of those and 10 of these for free. Isn't that lovely? They're just lovely. I have changed my lighting, so I'm hoping that this lighting will be better. We'll see. All right. So that's one thing for $50 purchase. The other item is this for also a $50 purchase, which is Rings of Love. And that is also what I used. And I'll be showing you that paper momentarily. Rings of Love uses some crushed curry, evening evergreen, mint macaron, night of navy, parakeet party, petal pink, poppy parade, and soft suede. If you want to make and get both of these together, so that'd be for $100 purchase. Some of the items that you could purchase, of course, is that Splendid suite that is on page 64, and maybe some ink, and I suggest soft suede ink pad. It's around $9. You could get that, and then maybe some cardstock and some crushed curry cardstock, or some poppy parade cardstock is wonderful, or of course the soft suede or crumb cake. Those are great, great papers, and especially for the fall and winter. So, and evening evergreen, the new, one of the newer colors. That's gorgeous, and I love that. As you know, I use that a lot. So with this paper, I will show you the paper pretty much, because I'm using all of it but one sheet. And so the one sheet that I did not use, I just want to show you real quick, is this sheet right here. I did not use this one, but I used everything else. All right. And so I will be showing you that as I make these. Okay. So let's get into the details. Oh, the other thing that I think, okay, that you could get with this is the sweet gingerbread. This is going to be great because it is a house. All right, they do talk about Ringed with Nature bundle, and that also has a house and has the rings and does these kind of stamps. But I thought that with that paper, this would be a great stamp set. And I'm even looking to use this house. You don't have to use the scalloped. You can easily make a non-scalloped roof, and I'll show you how to do that in the future. But this could also be great for Halloween, for the fall. So yeah, there you have a house. You have a great smokestack where you can make into a label. And you can use it for Christmas and for Thanksgiving, as you probably saw last week when I showed you some of those items from that stamp set. So I thought that would go real well with this set. All right. So first of all, this is the first card that I'm going to make, okay? And since we're going to go through both of them fairly easily, I will go ahead and I'll show you that one and all that it needs. So if you look here, what this is how this opens up, all right? What I do is I simply, I'm going to show you this. I simply turn one of the cards that you get in the packet, and I turn it inside out. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to cut, okay, 3 inches. So what I do is I take this into my machine and I simply go over to, because I want it to be, I'm making sure that I'm correct. This one is 3 inches, yes. So I'm going to go over 3 inches like this. All right, you see how that's in here? And I simply cut this off. This piece right here is going to be used for the other card. All right, so that's done for this card. So once I've cut the 3 inches, I can cut a piece of white cardstock for the inside. And that one, I make it a little smaller so that I can see the design on the inside. Really, with this one, you could even make it smaller if you like, or not at all, because it is so light. You can simply write on there or just put a big label on there if you like. All right, at this point, I am putting one of these on here, and this one is always I am correct. Yes, it's 4 3/4 by 3.5. So 3.5 by 4 3/4 for the inside. The next thing I do is I find a medium size label. And I probably could even use this one, and we'll check it out. But pretty much a medium size label, saying whatever you would like it to say. So on that label, the length is pretty much about 2 inches. They're 2 inches by about 3/4 inches. Okay, that's kind of my label length and size. All right, so we can use any of those. Then I am going to use, in this card, I used a previous item that had been in the clearance rack. Always check those clearance racks. But right now I'm going to use these gems, which is part of the Splendid suite. And so I'm going to use these. These are just lovely, just lovely. So I will be using that. And then I cut out from that DSP, which I'm going to show you, I cut out one of these. And then I cut out the houses, and I will show you that. And we can see which one we're going to use. And then what I did is I'm going to cut out a strip that is 1 inch. Okay, since this ends up to be 1 1/4, it's going to be 1 inch wide, a strip of DSP that is 1 inch wide by 5 1/4. And then this is going to be a 4 by 5 1/2. This is going to go the whole length. It's going to be a 4 by 5 1/2. So that's all I need to make this sweet, fancy card. Now, let me show you, and I might use some of this. I might use that. Let me show you that the paper that I used for this one. You can see here that this is some of the paper that is in that SaleAbration item. And that's the other side, right? And then what I used is this paper right here for the trees. I used this side. Okay. And then for both of the sets, for all 4 cards at the end, this is where I got the houses. It's from the paper here, and this is the other side of that paper. It's lovely paper. It's so much fun. And then this is where I get my tree rings. All right. And I've been cutting up my tree rings from this paper. And of course, I even have some butterflies that I've cut up, and you can cut up some mushrooms, which I've done as well. Very fun cut up piece of sheet. I find this paper great for cutting up, and here's those houses. And so these were the papers, as you see, the house, the little butterfly, the ring, and the designer paper. Okay, so those are the sheets. So I basically used 2 sheets of paper, and then these are my basics to make all my cards. All right. So now that you've seen that, let's go ahead and look at the paper that I'm using now. And the paper I'm going to use now is this one. So now you have seen all that designer paper that is part of that SaleAbration package. And this is just lovely and so much fun. All right. So all I do now is let's start building my card. And I've decided to use the birds right here. And for some reason, yes, this is correct. So this is how this is going to look, like this. Sorry about my dogs. And I am going to use some glue. our basic glue. I'll put my envelope away so I don't ruin that. I'll probably have to close. And I just butt that up right up against there and close that off. There's the one piece. Then, as I said before, I cut a strip, excuse me for just a second. I will have to close that door. Probably the mailman is coming up to the house. All right, so here I have my strip that is, and I probably made, remember, you can go either 1/4 of an inch or 1/8 of an inch, and I'm going to use the other side, right? That's what I like to do with the DSP. I like to use one sheet of DSP and use both sides. That is really what I like to do. So what I was going to say is, what I do a lot of times is instead of cutting it by 1/4 difference, I just cut it by 1/8. I seem to like the 1/8 a little more. So, but the 1/4 is great. So again, 5 1/4 by 1, or 1 1/8 by 5 3/8. All right, so there we go. There is the beginning of our card. And so now, since I've already fussy cut that out, I'll be going ahead and doing this and this. And then I am deciding how I'm going to put this on, or where I'm going to put this on. This will probably be, as you saw here, I can decide on the house. I don't have to use that house. I might use a different house. But here, let's see how this house looks. I might use a smaller house. I think I will, with my leaf. And what I'm going to do is, how I'm going to get this on here is with dimensionals, okay? I am going to glue the one piece and then do the dimensionals. Now, what I could do is I could use this right here, but I think that is just, I could do something like this, but I won't. I think it is best to use one of these. And you can go ahead, as you saw, do something like that. And then this time, I thought of using a little leaf here instead of a butterfly, but I do have a butterfly, which I probably might use just for the pop of color, although that is very pretty. I'm so happy to celebrate these moments with you. So you can see that works real well. Wishing you a year of magical moments and wonderful memories. That also works real well. So I'm going to go ahead and take this first and glue this down. So people have various ways that they like to go ahead and place sentiments. I like sentiments to kind of blend in and not take over the image. So that is why I do what I do. And so I felt like this doesn't intrude too much on my picture, but is definitely there and part of the greeting and works. I don't think I would put it, well, that could work also right there. I guess that could work as well. Or that, let me see if I put maybe something. It's what you do is how you play with it. You kind of decide, but I think that's best right here. I think that would be best. I'm going to put that on dimensionals that I have up here. As you know, I like to have things a little bit pre-stamped. I'm going to put that pretty much to the right. And then I'm going to decide how this is going to go. Now, this is going to have to go on dimensionals, okay? Because how is this going to stay down is we can use some glue dots to help it, but I think also a little bit of dimensionals will help that. Now, that one might be, and that might be too much for it. But first, let's go ahead and see. I'm going to see. I do have some more of these wooden items. I do like these old ones that were in the clearance rack. Always check the clearance rack, but I think I'm just going to do my plan. So the way this is going to work is I'm going to go ahead and put that here, that here. I'm going to make this sturdy. Since this is designer paper, I like to make this sturdy. I'm going to decide how I want this. Probably want that right here like that. That's where I'll want that. Okay, so that means that if I want that there, I want to make sure that my dimensional is on there, and I don't quite have a dimensional there. So I'm going to put another dimensional right in here just to make sure that I get that covered. And again, I could probably add a few glue dots underneath, but I'm not going to. That means that I can pretty much position this where I want, and it will glue it down. So looking at that, I'm just going to go ahead and put that right here, and that becomes steadfast. All right, so you do have to make sure that you catch that with your dimensional. All right, and so that becomes your front. And I could go ahead, let's see what my butterfly does. Let's see how my butterfly looks that I fussy cut out from that paper. I do like the butterfly. I am partial to that butterfly. So colorful, but fun. And I think that is really cute. But I don't think it's so necessary. I think we're busy enough. I could do that and then just take a, yeah, I like that because it pulls it down. I do like that. I like my image to flow from top to bottom. So I have to put this on this side because this is on a dimensional. And then I'll put some glue here on this side because it's going to get glued to that tag a little bit. So there we go, like that. And then if I wanted to, maybe I could take that little butterfly and put him up here, but I don't think so. So there you go. And so the last thing to do is simply to glue this in the center here, and you're done. That's your card. Now, and so this was the only other piece that I had to cut from cardstock, but it's not absolutely necessary. You wouldn't have to because this is so light. You could just use the cards and whatever stamp sets you have, and you'd be all set to go. And there's your card. There's that one. All right. So let's see the next one and see what I do with that. So for that next one, as I told you, we're using the same exact paper. I'm going to move these away because this is going to be a little different. We're going to use the exact same paper. Now, as I said, when we cut this off, what we're left with, since we're left with a piece that is 3 inches of white cardstock, right? So we are going to take those 3 inches of cardstock and we are going to be adhering it to this card, okay? And I'm going to show you in a second. But before we do that, we are actually now taking a new piece, and I show you this one is in green, the other one was in blue. We're actually going to take that piece of cardstock, and before we were cutting it at 3, all right, we put it into the machine and cut it at 3 inches. Well, now we're going to cut it at 2 3/4. So because we're cutting at 2 3/4, we're going to have 1.5 inches. So this piece is 1.5 inches, where this piece was 1 1/4 inches. This piece is going to be 1.5 inches. So I'm going to go to the 2 3/4 mark. I'm going to slip it in there, 2 3/4, and cut. All right, leaving me a bigger piece here at 1.5. All right. So once that is done, that leaves me with a piece of cardstock that I can glue right in here. Again, I don't have to. I could use this for other things to make labels, to do punch outs, whatever I like. But right here, what I do, and it's going to be exactly the length, and you're just going to center this. And of course, again, we turn that card inside out. I'm going to try and center this a little bit more. Opa. Not centering it well. There we go. Go up there, there. That looks much better. That looks much better, much better. Much better. Okay, there you go. And then you center that piece like that. Like that. All right. So that is centered now. And so that becomes the inside of your card, just like that. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take that from the other card and we're going to score it at 1/4 inch. So we're going to take our machine. This is 3 inches long, correct? And so all we're going to do is take our score tool and score it with the light gray, score it at 1/4 inch. All right. Once that's scored, you want to make sure that you have made really strong folds. So you want this to be strong as well. You want to make sure it's good and down using your bone folder. Then what we're going to do is we're going to put a bead of glue here. All right, we're going to use a bead of glue. Not too much. You do not want much at all because all it'll do is run. So literally it's just a stream. All right. And then this is going to get stuck to the bottom of this. So what you want to do is you want to turn that over and you want to bring it on right to the back of your card. You want to bring that on right to the back of your card. You want to make sure that it's level. Sorry. Just like that. Bring that on. And there's the back of your card. That's it. Okay. And there you go. It's all folded. See? It's all set to go. And you can make it go this way, or you can make it go this way. Make sure the inside of your card is okay. Everything's all right. Got a little folded here. There you go. That's all there's to it. All right. So now all it is using that same designer paper. So if this is 2 3/4, then you can go 2.5 by, you can go 2.5 by 5 1/4, or you can go by 1/8, 5 3/8 by, if this is 2 1/4 by 2 3/8, if it's 2 3/4, 2 3/4, so 2.5, so 2.5, 2 5/8. Yes, 2 5/8. And so all I'm going to do is make sure I have this straight up and down, because this is the side I want. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and do this. And what I did before was I used it this way. This way is the up and down. And all I'm going to do is put that on there. Okay, then this again is 1.5. Okay, this is 1.5 wide, right? This is 1.5. So then this is going to be your 1 1/4, or 1 3/8. And then this will also be I would say that if you go by the quarters, stay fairly consistent with your items. Stay fairly consistent. So there you go. All right, there it is. Okay, I think that I did, yeah, for some reason, this is a little on the askew side, but I can always fix that with scissors as usual, but I think it'll be all right. There you go. There's that. Now with this one, what you're going to need is you're going to need 2 of the rings, and you are going to be gluing them on top of each other because you will see through. Okay, so there's that, like that. Okay, so you want to be able to open that card. You want to be able to open that card in that fashion. All right, so after that, what you're going to do is I decided to use that same concept of label, sending love. And sending love is from the Sweet Gingerbread. I really do like this much more than I thought I would. And I'm going to put that there and then glue that on top, and then I will fit the back one on. Okay, so you do need 2. So this one, all I'm going to do is glue this on the back. I'm just going to glue this here, and pretty much, which is nice. So I'm going to just take that right there, maybe put it up right there and glue that down. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to glue that right onto here. I'm just going to glue it here. Okay, just glue it there like that. And then what I'm going to do on this one, if you'll notice, I sandwiched the extra piece, so you could sandwich it in between there. And you can see why I wanted both pieces, because here, ooh, and I forgot both sides had a, I forgot I'd stamped both sides of this. And of course you can see that, but I can deal with that in a bit. I can get rid of that with some kind of other nice little embellishment. I'm not going to worry about that right now. I forgot that I had stamped over there. And all you want to do is make sure you're kind of covering that. on the back side, as you see right here on that second one, and that right there, so that you're just covering it up. Now, if you see that it goes a little beyond in certain spots, of course, again, all you need to do is trim that off. Okay, so you're just going to trim that off wherever you have some issues. Like right here, I have an issue, so I'm going to trim that off. And then right here, I have a little issue, and I'm just going to trim that off. And it's going to be fine, because on the other side, it'll still be the wood. So there you go. See how that is? So that looks great, right? And so that looks really sweet, sending love. And then I choose my house again. So here I have some houses to choose from. And I can go ahead and choose this kind of a house. I can choose this house again. Now I have my little bow here and my little, so I can choose this house again. And I might just do that, or I'll choose the big blue house. Let's see. I might even have another house still. I think that house works pretty well with the blues. But I think I rather stay with the same kind of house, and I will put it on dimensionals. That's fine. And again, since it's designer paper, I am going to put quite a few dimensionals on so it's supported. And I'm going to go right here with that. And on the other one, as you see here, it's a little different. All right. On the other one here, what I did, here you go. I like to use the, I liked using the sequence to help me bring in that color that's on the inside. So here is that green, here was the blue, so I use blue sequence here. So on this one, what I would like to do is use the green sequence to bring that all together. And so what I'm going to do then is I'm going to place some sequence here around my little house right up here like that. I could put some still, if I wanted more, I could put one down there. Always odd numbers. I like to just stay to 3, but I could add one more, I think, right around here. So that looks nice. I take that one off. I like those 3 like that. A lot of times that's what I do and then decide I'm doing it on my own. I decide how I'm going to do it. If you have that left over, you don't have to worry about the little, that's just a glue dot, and that will go off easily. So there you go. I like that better. Just like that. And you can rearrange the sequence however you like. And there's those 2 easy cards using pre-made, prefab cards, using the SaleAbration items, and having some fun cards just to say hello or just to send love. This is great for the summer. This is great for the fall. And I am, again, going to use this kit, hopefully with this, to show you how you can do definitely a Halloween, or obviously a Thanksgiving or Christmas, which would be really easy for a Thanksgiving and Christmas card. This paper, as I showed you, has this one, let me see if I can find it. Yeah, this one page that definitely is Christmassy, I think. That, well, and could be, this definitely can be Christmassy. And this one is definitely Christmassy, right? And so these two you can turn into Christmas paper, and then you see which paper you can use for the summer. And then here is for the fall. And then your trees and your birds, of course, are again for the summer, with the summer, or this could be winter paper. I could see putting some snowflakes on here. Look at that. But anyway, this paper is great. It is free, and you have to make a $50 purchase. You can always go to my link tree to see the way I make different cards, with Cards and More and with pre-cut cards. I always enjoy doing that. And so you can always see that happening. And I hope you like these cards. Please like for me. I appreciate you watching, and come back. I will not be here next Tuesday. I am going to go personally. My husband's going to be here watching all the animals, and I am personally going to be going on a trip to visit family, which makes me really happy. So I do not think I will be live at all next week and the following week, but I will be posting, and I have some ideas of what I might post, and you never know, I might come on live early on Tuesday. Well, they now say on Facebook that that you can go live and postpone the posting, so I could just say hello and talk about a few things that are exciting to me. So the celebration catalog only goes through August. Definitely, guys, there are quite a few items in here that are definitely worth it. The other item that I have shown you and that I purchased was the Wonderful World stamp set, and I made last week some items from this stamp set, so, and paper. So I showed you how to make the envelope and bow and all of that. This is a beautiful set. It is $100. Again, you know, how do I buy $100 or $50 worth of merchandise? Well, again, you know, some stamp sets that would go with the free paper. They also have another stamp set, while I'm just talking about it. They also have another stamp set that goes with this free paper in the catalog. And it is on, let me see, I think I folded back the page so that I could find it. We'll see. We'll see. Yes. So what they say goes with this is this right here. This right here. Okay. This is the one. You see the rings. These are the mushroom caps. Although this reminds me of the little tops on the gumdrops. So they could be gumdrops as well, if you like. And making little stems would be easy to turn these into little mushrooms. So I see a similarity between these quite a bit. So this could definitely be worth your while, getting this stamp set or this one, all right, with this. And so, and then getting some paper and ink, and definitely some soft suede or crumb cake or seafoam cardstock, along with a Stampin' Pad, and then a block D. I always suggest a block D, and there you go. Of course, you can also get your next paper pumpkin along with a stamp set and an ink pad. And if you go ahead and do that, you definitely could get one of the items. And that the next paper pumpkin has 2 ink spots, a crushed curry and a soft suede. And so that would be fantastic. I love, as you've seen me before, I love ink spots, and that would be really great for you. 2 ink spots lasts a long, long time. You won't run out for quite a while. And so, and if you get that kit and it's your first time, which I have posted yesterday, check that out. It is the sunflowers. It's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. And thinking of Ukraine, and maybe making a couple of cards with blue and soft suede and crushed curry would be wonderful. And so that paper pumpkin kit is worth it. So contact me if you are interested in that paper pumpkin, or do not have anyone that is presently your demonstrator. You can go ahead and contact me if you feel it's necessary. Okay, so that should be it. Like, heart, and come and visit me again. I'll be in contact. All right. So bye-bye now.